as service robots into the AI mind cloud and can then benefit out a laboratory procedure. That knowledge goes into the AI mind cloud, but they also have some advantages, and that's one big advantage, because when I learn something, now that doesn't solve the AI problem in itself, just as big data doesn't solve the AI problem in itself, but it's a big help, right? So what I've been working on with an international team of developers is an AGI code base called Open in the Mind Cloud.
Flight is a subject that has inspired generations for millennia, I guess. But what if you could tackle that challenge in an entirely different way, and particularly human flight? What if you tackled that challenge by leaning very heavily on the capabilities that we kind of all come out of the box with? So I'm talking about balance, control, strength, because after all, the human being is a pretty amazing machine, and to really reinforce that point, I'll show you a little clip here, but also I think an even better example than my old training partner to do that, then, you know, the Boston Dynamics people can explain to you how hard that is. So what about approaching this challenge of human flight, leaning very heavily on that already pretty amazing machine? And that's the story I'm going to share with you. So there's one thing that's missing, and that's horsepower. So we don't really come out of the box most of the time, actually, and that's included, those 3D mounts are included, really want to just collaborate with us because we're having great fun doing something that was thought impossible. The other big technology frontier, in addition to the wings and the 3D printing, is heads-up display technology, so AR basically. This is a really good use case for AR. When you're flying along, you can't exactly look down at any dials. So having a holographic projection in front of you of your fuel and engine data is just fantastic. We've even got now comms, so communications with the ground. We've had several of us flying now at the same time and being able to actually call, as in speak to each other. And slightly weirdly, we're actually using voice conferencing. So you dial into a conference number and then all speak through this shared headset system. So it's, as I say, really only the beginning of this journey. We've got some pretty awesome plans coming up this year. This is as a kind of fun little artist render of some of the ideas. We've actually got an early stage deal signed with a Hollywood-based outfit that want to, and you have to have a bit of a leap of imagination for this, actually have which was, I suppose, a willingness to have a pretty, frankly at the time, ridiculous vision, something that was considered by most aeronautical engineers, and my whole family background was aeronautical engineering, not that I followed it up until now. It was considered to be pretty impossible. And it just shows that if you've got an appetite to go and entertain, I suppose, relentless failure, which is where you make most of the learnings, and as long as that failure is safe, it just shows where you can get to. And as I say, I think if you keep following where we're going in the next 12 months, I think you might be quite surprised at what we managed to deliver. Now, I rattled through this fairly quickly because I usually at these kind of events, thank you.
What's up, buddy? I'm waiting on 2 other dudes. Give it a second, and I'm streaming. We're going to be having a little bit of a talk while we play. Yeah. What's wrong with that? Not really. Doesn't matter. I don't really care whether it's good or not. I usually always leave it up. I hate when people only do the live stuff on Twitch so it doesn't save. So that way if they mess up, it's not saved, you know what I mean? But the way I look at it on my shit is I just play regularly. I mean, I'm good, but I'm not always good. Everybody wants to think if you're good 100% of the time, when in reality, if you want to watch any blogger that's blogging their gaming history, they don't just get 100 on everything every single time. It takes time to get good. It takes time to know what to do and what not to do, and mistakes and failure is where you're going to learn from. So it doesn't make any sense that they have it in their mind that everybody's just going to be on point 100% of the time. It's retarded. But that's the mindset that they all have out there. That's why nobody streams their gaming stuff, because they're afraid of people going, oh, you suck, I'm not watching you anyways. But I don't stream because of my talent. Like, there's people that stream because they want to show talent. I stream because I got a whole nother thing going on that I put into my stuff. I got a radio show. It's called Uncensored Media Radio. It's like a podcast where it's just real dudes getting together, talking about real shit, talking about shit the media won't talk about. And I link that to this, so that all the fans of the radio show can come and listen to me talk while I'm gaming, because I only do shows every so often. Like, I don't do them like everyone else, like once a week or once a month. We actually did it once a year because there was that much research involved to boil everything down to what's the most important subjects. So now I've been doing the show a lot more often, but stream is for people that want to listen to the stuff that we talk about every day. It's like a daily podcast on YouTube of me playing the game and talking about stuff. Yeah, well, when I'm playing, when I die, I go to the next person. So yeah, that'll be your time to shine. Right. Yo, you gotta get your settings right though. There's two different settings. There's one in the share menu and there's one in the PS menu. The share menu one, you click the share button, then you go to sharing and broadcast settings, then audio sharing settings, and click the three boxes. I'll wait for you. Hold on. Well, we can do that, but there's a whole nother setting with that too. So that would be 3 settings instead of 2. Yeah, I've been doing it for 10 years. I've been doing it for free. I haven't made $1 off of it. It's all pretty much for the people. It's not for me. More than that, man. Pretty much every game I played, fucking, and the world, dude, billions have checked it out and liked it. And it's not censored, so it kind of blew the fuck up. They'll hear me talking, and they have no. If they're smart, they have no choice to get involved and start talking about it. But all right. So there's two settings. One's in the share menu, so you click the share button. All right. Not the PlayStation button. Go back. You know where your share button is at? No. Share button. Share button. It's the opposite of your options menu. You got an option button. It's on the other side. It's on the left hand side. Alright, then you go to sharing and broadcast settings. No, sharing and broadcast settings. Then go to audio sharing settings. And then go to the 3 boxes where it's talking about sharing your audio. Click all 3 of those and then press O to come back. Yeah. You press O to come back because if you press the PS button, it wipes that back out. Now, the second one is the same thing that you just did. You're going to do that in your PlayStation settings. But you won't be able to hear me once you go into your PlayStation settings. So you hit the... Alright, hold on. Click the PlayStation button, go to your settings, then go to sharing and broadcast, I believe. And then audio sharing settings and click the 3 boxes. Alright, if they're all clicked, just come back. Now for the third one, which is your party settings. You go to your party, and then go to party settings. You know how you look at the party that you're in right now? Go to that, and then go to party settings. And then go to allow your voice to be shared and put it on always allow. Put it on always allow. Yep. Well, always allow, it doesn't matter. What do you mean for the current party? Yeah, always allow. Alright. Alright, now, let me explain all that shit. They don't want us getting on here and having other people's voice on our videos if they don't consent to it. So,
okay.
This is you consenting to being in a video by you doing those 3 steps. So that people can't say, oh, I want to sue PlayStation because someone put me in their video and made a fool out of me.
Right, okay.
But you have no chances of anything like that with me. I'm not on that shit. I'm not trying to exploit anybody. I'm not trying to hurt anybody. I got a big heart, man. A really big heart.
Well, how could somebody get hurt by doing all this?
Think about it. Let me give you an example.
Something.
Well, listen, there's another side to it. Like, they act like it's about that, but it's really about, they don't want people getting on here and talking truth and then having it spread very quickly and having the ability to have everyone chime in and put it all in a live stream at the same time. They want to slow that down and stifle that as much as possible. So those 3 options really slow people down and stop people from having a debate or having a talk or even going back and forth and it all being on the same stream so that people can talk about whatever the subject is, whatever the subject matter is. Now, dude, they don't want people on here talking. They just want people on here gaming. So if they had their choice, they would take the audio part right out of it because it's dangerous for them because anybody could say anything and put it on YouTube. Now, if somebody were to, let's just say, for an example, what they would say is, let's say a hacker or a troll, fooling you and having you do a bunch of shit, just like you could have fooled me just now, like when we were sitting here talking. You could have just played it off like you didn't know what the setting was. You probably could have had me going for a half an hour trying to tell you what the settings were if you wanted to troll me out, right? So there'd be a person, there's people out there everywhere that do that shit. That they get off on that shit. They love that shit. So let's say a kid was making YouTube videos and that's what he does. And that's what all the YouTube channels out there are pumping now. Are these kids doing this trolling shit. Because it's way less productive than menial shit that people can be doing on these platforms. So they want people to be trolling people out and just spreading evil and negativity day in and day out. And they support that shit 100%. But a dude like me, they block everything that I put online. Matter of fact, I just put up a video 20 minutes ago that said exposing the system. That's how simple the title was. And within 20 minutes, no joke, they cut the feed. And it said unavailable. It had a exclamation mark and like a world. Listen, it had like a world with like the bars on it.
You keep cutting out.
Wow. Yeah, they cut my feed because I was talking about important shit that everybody needs to know about and talk about and be thinking about. For instance, just for an example, dude, there's so much shit that people don't know. That everything's being hidden from everybody for a reason, and everything's being compartmentalized for a reason. Because there's a small ass amount of time. They got a tiny window of time. These scientists and these people that own the world, they have a tiny window to fuck us over to where we can never come back from it. And they're pulling it off right now. They're pulling it by having all of us on all these gaming systems compartmentalized and separated, even in our jobs and our schools. It's not just a game. It's in everything. They compartmentalize everything so that even people that work together don't know what each other are really doing.
So this game we're about to play is going to go live, and then I have to reverse exactly what I did here.
Well, you can do that, yeah, but I mean, like I said, it all depends on who you play with, dude. If you play with jerk-offs that do that shit and that's what they do, it'll be obvious that they're trying to get you on some dumb shit. So it really makes no sense for anybody to think that that's going to safeguard them in any way. You know what I mean? Like, it's obvious if somebody's on some shit like that. They're obviously playing games with people and fucking not making sense and saying things over and over again. It's really just to stifle people from getting together online on a game. So you ain't really got to worry about putting all them settings back. I bet you it's a 1 out of a billion chance that somebody will try to get you on a video and make a fool of you. Even though there's kids out there doing the shit. I mean, to be honest with you,
they can't make a fool of me. There's no way they can make a fool of me. I'm just playing a game.
They could easily make a fool on anybody just by fucking with them, because people trust people too much. You understand what I mean? Like let's say, well, you know better than a little kid does. So I mean, they have a hard time fucking you over or making a fool out of you. But when it comes to like little kids and people that don't know about online and how dangerous it could possibly be, he was dropped from the fucking party. Ha! He's back. There you go. Because of what we're talking about. It was an AI, it's not a person, it's a computer now. Yeah. So happened. Yeah, me cutting out, getting booted from the party, and my broadcast being stopped like it is right now. If you go to my broadcast on YouTube, it has that fucking mark on it again from the last video 20 minutes ago where it says unavailable, and it has a fucking exclamation mark and a world, and it's a black screen, and that's what I'm streaming right now is just my fucking audio because they cut my feed completely. Wow. You can try all they want. It never works. They just make things bigger. They're fucking retards. I gotta restart my stream because they just fucked the whole thing up. Let me restart it and we'll start. Take 2 seconds.